Well, how's it going, chat? Today is day one, kind of the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Technically, it releases tomorrow, but the embargoes have lifted, so approved people have been playing it. And a lot of the details have been coming out. Seeing some of the gameplay, seeing some of the story. And I was watching this little video before called Yasuke Becomes a Samurai, and I was like no particular order of where I was watching it to. The stream started. Let's continue and see what happens.
There is still the Iga problem.
Whoa, Tokugawa Ieyasu. You can't just call them Iga. They're from the province of Iga. Okay, that's where the ninjas train. Okay, it's a very interesting thing to say there. Now the game doesn't look great. The game doesn't look great, in my opinion. But before we get started, be sure to like the stream, of course. But I want to make something clear, and that is there are different groups of people that both like and hate Assassin's Creed and criticize each other for those reasons. And I have a little schizo board lined up for you. So on this side, you've got the A-logs. Wait, that's the wrong color. That's the wrong color. This one. There we go. We've got the A-logs on this side, and we've got the defenders on this side. Now, there are people that hate the game just because of Yasuke. Just because they don't like the character, right? And there are people that defend the game just because of Yasuke. Now, I think both of these positions are pretty silly. If you're defending it just because it's a black character, that's silly. If you're hating it just before it's a black character, that's silly. Now, you can hate it because of a poor representation of a black character and poor writing and forced inclusion, those sort of things. But Yasuke was a real person in the Japanese histories. Now, I put myself in the group. There's these big four groups, basically, is how I've done it. I've got group one. Oh, wait, I'll make this yellow, shall we? Make this yellow. Okay, there's group one that hate Yasuke just because he's black. You've got group two that love the game just because Yasuke is black. Then you've got group three, people that hate the game because it looks like crap. And then you've got group four, people that like the game because it looks great, in their opinion. I put myself firmly in group three. I think the game looks like crap. I have no reason to play the game. It doesn't look fun to me. It doesn't look attractive to me. And there's a lot of things that it doesn't pass on the vibe check. Now, some people do like the vibe, as I have seen. But for me, living in Japan, it's a very uncanny valley sort of game. And of course, you have the people that argue about the historical accuracy. It's just a game. You can take liberties and stuff. And I agree with that kind of. There's people that say, oh, he's not a samurai. The reality is that there's no evidence that Yasuke was technically a samurai, but it's one of those things. You can't prove he was, you can't prove he wasn't. He did carry a sword. He was a retainer for Oda Nobunaga. But he didn't ever have a last name, which is kind of important. And there were other foreign samurais, but I think what happened is that they enjoyed a kind of like a special group for foreigners. And this is something you see in Japan. We might talk about it a bit later. It's not really that important. Okay. He was kind of a trophy, honestly. He was like an oddity, like when you have like a king that was like wandering around the countryside and he's got like a lion or an elephant from a far distant land. That's kind of what Yasuke was. He only stayed in Japan for about a year and he went back to the Jesuits after Oda's death. So samurai is not typically like a part-time job, but you know, it is what it is. Now, the game's first day started off to an interesting start. We heard this article a few days ago. Ubisoft is ready to sue players for harassing Assassin's Creed Shadows developers. And honestly, this sounded like clickbait to me at first, but it kind of makes sense. But the question is, where do you draw the line? So the idea is that if you're attacking their families, if you're going after them in real life, that's what they're going after. But the way that this reads and the way that Ubisoft has taken down videos of people in the past that have just been critical of the game makes you wonder if they're going to use this tactic against people like myself or people that are far more critical of the game to silence opposition. And there was actually kind of an early casualty in the form of a VTuber, Olivia Munro. She said, because as the embargo was lifting for the pre-approved people or people that had pre-ordered it, she says, as a master of stealth who gets caught every 5 seconds, you can come and find me in Assassin's Creed Shadow on stream today. Come along for the world's least sneaky assassin adventures. So this is how it started. This is how it's going. I got my stream time approved. I was emailed 5 minutes ago saying I was in breach of embargo, even though I was approved, and boom, boom, ban. So this streamer got banned. This VTuber got banned, and it was kind of an honest mistake, but a stupid mistake, and very much on Ubisoft's part. What happened is when she sent in her approval for her time, she sent in that. Well, what she says is that Ubisoft approved my time because they read it as 7 p.m., not 7 a.m. So there's So if you're unaware of how this happens, early copies of the game will be given to people to drum up hype, but they all have a certain time that they can't do it before. That's when the embargo lifts, right? So this person said that they were going to start playing it at 7 a.m. Ubisoft said, yeah, that's fine. 7 p.m. is fine. Then they saw them playing it 12 hours early, trying to get a head start on the competition. And they decided to ban this person. So this streamer got banned because of a typo. But this is very much on Ubisoft's part for not actually reading and saying, no, you can't start that early. So this was the first casualty of Assassin's Creed. And they'll get unbanned. Like, this is just a temporary thing. Like, it's a fair enough mistake, in my opinion. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And yeah, this is it's just a YouTuber that plays video games. Now, I decided to go throughout the day. I was checking in on the reviews. I was checking in on the Steam sales. And I was taking a look at people that were playing the game and some of the SNAFUs of day one. And let me tell you, my initial opinion of this game was that it looks like crap. I think it's going to be crap, but it'll probably sell like mid. It'll be like a mid release. It's not going to be amazing. It's not going to be like terrible in sales. It's going to be like a solid 5 out of 10 or something. People like Assassin's Creed will play it. They'll buy it. It's not going to kill Ubisoft, but it's not going to save them. That was kind of my opinion and prediction. And it seems like that's the way it's going so far. But there were some moments that I thought I might share with you. So one of the people that was playing it today was Asmongold. Let's take a quick look at this stunning gameplay from Assassin's Creed Shadows.
All right, it's safe. Let's go in.
Just in time. The miso shiru is almost ready. Sit.
This is pretty much what I expected. Pretty shit. Doesn't look great at all. Now, there was actually another thing I wanted to show you here. I think I was looking at the timestamps. I was trying to find some funny moments. There was one that was very interesting to me. Like things like this, like when you see the character riding the... Oh, okay, we got like a Japanese ad for their second. Just a second. Hold on a second. It's things like this that make... Well, not this. I got another ad. Oh my gosh. I've got to get through the ads. It's things like this, like that. Like this looks really stiff. Like the riding of the horse, it looks like they've just put very low effort into the game. Like the entire game seems to have like these moments where it just looks like very cheaply put together. Like all of the talent have left the game. You know, all of the passion has left the game. But when I was talking earlier on my chart, how some people think the game's vibe is amazing, that's the reason you should play it, and some people hate the vibe. I also hate the vibe. So not only do I think the game looks like crap, the vibe kind of weirds me out. And like I said, it's got this uncanny valley. And I think there was an example, actually. Let me see. Where was I? I think it was like around an hour or something. It was around then. I think it was like an hour 20. I probably just find it myself. Hour 20. So when they reached like the town. So it was just before this part, I think. Okay. So this is something like... okay, this part here. Perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. As soon as they get to this town and they start walking through it. Oh, wait, is it a little bit more? Hold on. So this... Well, actually, this is not. I'll go back a little bit far. I want to see what they're actually walking in, maybe. Give me a sec. Just give me a second check. Gives you a second to let me know what you think about the game. Somewhere around... Shit, here. Here it is. This is where I was. Now, I think that at this point, Asmund says that he likes the game. I hate the game for the same reason that he likes it.
Feel like
I mean, he didn't say he liked the game. He said he liked the aesthetics.
You are a pebble now.
Okay, so they're walking through the town. You've got like the things, and it's got the Japanese seasons. Throughout the development of this game, they just decided to throw in all these different elements of what they think Japan is. And it's very frustrating for someone that actually lives in Japan, and I assume for Japanese people as well. What you can see here, and this seems like a very minor nitpick, but they have very heavy autumn leaves and very loud cicadas and things like that. And those are two things that you don't really hear at the same time and don't see at the same time when living in Japan. And this is exactly the same as the watermelons during the sakura seasons. It's stuff that just like takes you out and breaks your immersion and gives you the uncanny vibe, where it's like they almost just had an AI put together what they think Japan looks like. and then when you actually take a look closer, it just falls apart straight away. Japan is a very proud, distinct seasons, and each season has its own flavor, sounds, energy, everything. And summer is very different from autumn. And having them two together is very strange for me. So this is why I really don't like the vibe of the game. Not only does it look like shit, but we won't need this later. So that's all we need for that for now. But we'll come back and refer to it later on. Furthermore, the game just doesn't look very good. The game just doesn't look very good. And I'm going to refer to things like this. So this is a scene from someone was playing today. So they're got their persons breaking into the Himeji Guild storage. Let's take a look. It just looks like shit. Look at this. It just looks like shit. This is a Japanese woman, is like maybe 40, 50 kilo ninja, right? She's dragging a guy away with one, and he's just not doing anything. It just looks like a game from like 15, 20 years ago. It looks awful. When I saw this moment, I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? One-handed drag, and the guy's just... It reminded me of Kenobi. You know that scene in Kenobi, and I have it lined up for you here, where this woman disarms these two stormtroopers, and she just like pushes one in the face and like jiggles his helmet, and they just fall over. It's this amount of... it just like... It breaks the immersion. It's these little things that make the important details. Just slapping a stormtrooper in the head and he falls over. It just looks wrong. It just looks wrong. And maybe it's like these little things that doesn't matter to other people, but it matters to me. And it really makes it look like a shit game. Now, there were some pretty funny bugs throughout the day as well. This one was one of my favorites. The zombie... This is a special feature that wasn't announced until today. They have zombie guardsmen. Let's take a look at this. Beheads the guy. He beheads him. Gets right back up.
Dude, just what the hell? Dude's walking around without a head. What the hell?
This is the average Assassin's Creed enjoyer has gotten up and continuing his playthrough with no head.
That's a first. This guy don't give a fuck. What is going on?
So, now, I know that bugs like this happen in every game, but it seems like this is such an unfinished product. And it was delayed several times. And, like, hey, I'll show you, this is probably the funnest one that we have for the day, actually. It was this one. So this is the biggest tweet that I think that I could find floating around. Learning the Law said, I was waiting quietly in the dark, expecting to see some truly horrible voice acting from Assassin's Creed Shadows, but this is beyond imaginable levels. Like, this is what you get in 2025. Here's your assassin slop. You prepared for this? Is actually hilarious.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
I think I'm smelling some shiitake. Holy shit. Now, some people have defended this, saying that you're supposed to play the game in Japanese and the voice acting isn't supposed to be played. But that's just frankly not true. And there was another post by this guy who says, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood came out 15 years ago, yet no language barrier diminished the exquisite voice acting / writing. You can pour $500 million into a game, but if your writing lacks creativity, you're trapped by toxic positivity and your game is doomed. This is peak voice acting. So this is from 15 years ago. This is what Assassin's Creed was like 15 years ago.
I have the piece of Eden. Get out of my way, old man. I gave you everything, and yet it's never enough.
Cesare! He intends to poison you!
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's compare it one more time to these shiitake mushrooms. Let's see what we're going to get.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too.
Shiitake? Oh
Mushrooms.
no. Oh no,
The
no,
smell
no.
of dirt, grass, and rain.
There we go. There we go. So obviously, I've seen some other voice clips which are also pretty bad, but this was the best example and one of the funniest, I think. It sounds like a Family Guy skit. It does in many ways, doesn't it? Now, I'm not sure what I should show you next. There's a lot of funny things going through this game, but this was another good one. This is another good one. This was posted by Savvy. Found a 7-hour playthrough. We'll link in a second tweet, which covers the intro to the game. It's funny when playing Genshin, despite its pastel colors and lower poly count, I feel fear and concern over Signora's reveal. Her attack on Venti made me cringe and make noise for my poor femboy. I guess, okay, this is some Genshin shit. I don't care about that. That's they love Genshin, okay? They probably enjoy playing that game that Solari likes too. But this is laughable. From the clipping of the sword to the weird stance and looking around to the delivery, she's not even playing her instrument. And the attempt to look threatening is lacking in any sellable believability. But someone sat there and said, yeah, this is cool, and then approved it. So this is a scene from when I think Naue, which is the female ninja, is revealed. This is a big reveal. Big spooky reveal. There's two funny things in this one though. Oh, there you go. Oda Nobunaga, the horseman. Possibly one of the most important people in all of Japanese history, by the way.
Who are you?
I am eager.
Now, well, first of all, so what? She's just playing this flute, and everyone's just standing away and waiting for her introduction. She's like playing her own flute. It's not even background music. It's just comical. Now, I'm something of an eager lover myself, actually. This is a bit of history level time for you guys, okay? Because let me see. Where is I should have had this loaded up. Here it is. Eager. Now, I actually used to live over here, right next to Azuchi Castle. This is a pretty important place back in the Sengoku period. Unfortunately, Azuchi Castle has been destroyed, so you can no longer go there. But this was in what was called the Omi Prefecture. It is now called the Shiga Prefecture. And the Iga Prefecture, which is where these Igas are coming from, the Iga Menace. So if you're an Iga lover, let me know. But it's been merged with Issei and is now the Mie Prefecture. But I actually used to work down here in a place called Koka. And next to Koka is the old Iga ninja schools. They're over in Mie now. They're over in Mie, but there's like 3 ninja schools. So I actually used to go past a ninja school quite commonly here. So I'm actually very familiar with this area. It's pretty cool. It's quite a nice place. And one of the things about this game is that it takes place largely in this area, although down to Osaka as well. So I actually know a lot of the places that they're talking about, at least in the pieces that I've seen so far. Just a neat little detail, not too important to our review of Assassin's Creed. Now that we've seen a slice of the game, let's take a look at what people are saying about it. Assassin's Creed Shadows review, a feudal return to form. Look, oh, that sounds amazing. Amazing. A feudal reform to... Wait, what is this? The Gamer says, Assassin's Creed review, a feudal reform to classic return to form. A feudal return to form. Exciting return to form. Assassin's Creed Shadow may be a return to form. Like, everyone's spitting out the same thing of this article. It's like they've been given a script almost. It's kind of funny. And hold on. Where was it? You may remember another return to form. Didn't I have this saved up? Sure, I had this around here. They were saying the same thing about Dragon Age, the Veilguard as well. A true return to RPG form. So I'm pretty sure these are all paid shills. And my evidence for this is this piece here. So this is from VG 247, which I think was one of the game companies that Grums was petitioning along with Kotaku and Polygon from this stream last night, where he was trying to get them to say that that episode of Law & Order was really bad and they should denounce it and gamers rise up. So VGA 247 says, there are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure, but it's so fun to play. It's telling a gripping story. Well, like the gripping story, I know what gripping story, but we'll get to that later. And there is so much sense of progress and reward for every little thing that you do. It actually feels like an open world game that's taking its cues from a modern roguelike or something. Wait a second. There are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows. 100% score. Wait a minute. What? Now, wait a minute, VGA. No, you can't say this. Like, what is it with game reviewers, journalists, that is so... it's so disingenuous. Like, oh, this is a mediocre experience with some problems. 10 out of 10. What do you mean by that? 100? Now, I'm a kind of person, like, I don't know, do you guys agree with me? Is this like a different generational thing or something? Like, if there is any problem in a game, I can't give it 100. Frankly, I'd probably never give anything, even my favorite game, an 100. Like, I think the highest score I could ever give something would be like 95 or something, because I'll be able to find some nitpicks somewhere. There's no way you can make it. Like, perfection should be an ideal to strive for, but something you can never achieve, in my opinion. It is outrageous to call it 100 and then start your sentence with, there are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure. I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious. Now, there's a lot of these reviews coming out, and a lot of them are like 98, 95, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 8, 5 out of 5. Like, the shilling is off the charts. But from all the reviews that I've actually been seeing and from the streams that I was watching today, people are calling it a pretty meh experience, and the combat looks really one-dimensional. And there's a lot of other goofy, silly things in it. So I had this Assassin's tier list. No, I've never actually played a Assassin's Creed game. My brother played them. I watched him play them a little bit, but it doesn't really appeal to me. I mean, I like stealth games. Like, I played some Metal Gear Solid. That's kind of like stealth action. I've played some other stealth games too, but like, I don't know. I never really got into the idea of Assassin's Creed. So apparently people are saying that Black Flag is like the best ever, and they're saying that this is the best game since Black Flag, making it the best Assassin's Creed ever. But like I was talking a bit earlier on my vibe check, how I don't like the seasons. There's something else I don't like. So I don't like the seasons and the aesthetic at all. Seasons and aesthetic. Doesn't the idea of like Yasuke himself kind of run counterintuitive to Assassin's Creed? And what I'm saying by that is, in Assassin's Creed, you have two characters. You have Naoe, the female ninja, Kunoichi, and she's the sneaky one. And Yasuke is like the big, strong guy that like runs into things. He bowls over people. He's like the brute force powerhouse. And I think Assassin's Creed, even though I have not played it, it seems like it's a stealth game. And just being like a bulldozer character seems to run counterintuitive to what I know about the games. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's fine to have diversity in those sort of gameplay forms, but I'm not sure I'm a big fan of it. Now, let's see. I actually thought of a good segue now. So it says like, where was it? It's so fun to play. It's telling a gripping story. So let's talk a little bit about the grippiness of this story. And of course, by that, I am referring to this. And I think I have... Wait, don't I have another one of these somewhere? Let me see. I know I have this somewhere. Shit. Where do I have it logged? All right. Well, I'm sure I'll find it. Oh, here it is. The 4chan review. Assassin's Creed Shadows. 3 gay romances. The absolute state. And 1 straight romance where you fug Nobunaga's sister. Lol. Lamau even. That's the grippy nature of this game. And you can see it on his shitting grin. This is Ibuki, one of the male love protagonists, or like, well, not protagonists, but one of the characters. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the gay stuff. In Assassin's Creed Shadow, they can't help but make the female protagonist canonically lesbian and Yasuke the king of interracial romance by having him sleep with Nobunaga's sister. Everything will be slop and gay, and you will like it, or you'll get sued. And you've got some delicious like lady kissing there. You've got this is Yasuke with Nobunaga's sister. Now, a lot of people are actually really mad about this, and we might talk about that a bit later, but let's take a look at the slop first. This is an actual scene, and this is the canonical scene. So obviously every game has different romance options. This is the canonical romance for Naoe, the female character, and one of the 2 protagonists of the game that you play.
Lust is a journey over thousands.
Oh, lust is a journey
that begins with a kiss.
Om nom nom nom. Om nom 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 nom. Oh, this is yeah, that's hot. The scissoring action of the female ninjas. Oh dear. Sorry, I missed this one. Brandon says, hitting the goal off the bat, not a flop. Thank you very much for the 2. The first super chat of the day. Oh my goodness, that was the first scene. Let's take it. This is the love interest for the gay option for Yasuke, and I assume the second gay option is Naoe with Nobunaga's sister. But this is Ibuki. Let's take a look at them staring each other into their eyes. This is actually the scene from one of Yasuke's male romances in Assassin's Creed. Oh, only one of them. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look. Looking lovingly into those eyes. 10 out of 10. 100. Like, can we give this an 11 out of 10?
You are more than worthy.
And this moment we have shared will be my treasure.
Game of the year? Is this game of the year, boys? Oh man, he just knows. Look at him, he just knows. He's getting that bussy. Yasuke actually has a gay romance in Assassin's Creed Shadow with a character named Ibuki who identifies as non-binary, they, them. After some flirting, they kiss each other. Bro, it looks like he's high as fuck, Lamol. Now, to be fair, samurai were pretty gay. This is actually it's like with Greeks, how they always had their little boy companions. Samurai were very much the same way. They had little boy companions too. They're all gay. So this isn't actually... This could be historically accurate, but I don't know about they, them in Assassin's Creed. That might be a bridge too far, particularly because in feudal Japan, like your title was so important. But I thought I'd just throw that in there. He's a literal they, them in the game. So good for you guys. Good for you guys. We actually have a post from... oh, no, wait, sorry. Not just yet. Not just yet. Where was it? Where was it? This one. No, I'll go to that one later. Now... I got a treat from Grums as well, but I might use that later. Should we go to the international incident point, or do we want to go? Yeah, let's go into the international incident part of this. Oh, dear. Where are we? We'll do this one. Here we go. All right. So this is the Prime Minister of Japan. And the Prime Minister of Japan... This actually came up in Japan's parliament today. The Prime Minister, this is actually Japanese Congress. They are talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, specifically what they're talking about is, here it is. So this is a post by Ohio, my brother. And this person claims to be Japanese. I have my doubts. I have a feeling that this is one of those Japanese role players, but their Japanese is pretty good, so it doesn't matter. So today, Hiroyuki Kada will be discussing Assassin's Creed Shadow in the Japanese Diet, which is like their parliament or whatever. I don't know why they call it a diet. So I'll be watching the live broadcast and I'll keep you informed on the details. At exactly 9:32, Kada began his questioning session. His questions today are storytelling of disaster experiences, court records, and the Assassin's Creed issue, representation of Japanese culture and games, etc. This discussion is just the first topic and has just concluded. They go into the second one. Let me see. Kada referenced early overseas gameplay footage of Assassin's Creed. He noted that their shrine in Hyogo Prefecture, his home district, appears in the game. In the game, the shrine's altar is destroyed. Players can engage in acts of vandalism and disorder. Kada confirms that the shrine did not grant permission for its name to be used. He raised concerns about unauthorized use of real-world religious and cultural sites in video games. The response from Vice Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, Daigaku Ugushi, says, unauthorized use is unacceptable. If consulted in advance, the ministry would address such issues appropriately. Concerns about real-world impact. Kada also questioned whether the game could encourage actual acts of vandalism and cultural disrespect. I feel like this is a stretch. This is really a stretch. He pointed out that there have already been real cases of foreign tourists climbing on shrine torii gates, climbing over tourism and cultural damage. And he emphasized that disrespecting local cultures is unacceptable and raised the broader issue of disregarding culture, values, and entertainment media. Response from the Prime Minister. The government will coordinate with relevant ministries on the issue. Acts like graffiti on shrines are intolerable and disrespect the nation. He noted that when deploying the self-defense force abroad, Japan ensures respect for local cultures. Respecting other cultures should be common sense. The government will simply not turn a blind eye to issues like over-tourism and cultural damage. I believe that was the extent of it. And there was also a little wrap-up, but that's basically it. Now, Grums makes a comeback. He makes a comeback. Of course, stream favorite of last night. He says, you can apparently desecrate and loot relatives of the Japanese imperial family in Assassin's Creed Shadow by Ubisoft. Japanese are in uproar over the latest discovery in the leaked Assassin's Creed Shadows art book, whose text and art hint at the ability to raid imperial tombs and loot the family's sacred treasures, including armor. Japanese has a very different view of this than the West. The imperial family line is alive, and the palace and burial sites are considered sacred. Now, this is true, but I disagree with it. So Japanese people are upset about the disrespect of shrines, not asking for permission of the names, and things like how you can desecrate a shrine in the game, how you can loot relics and things like that. That does make them upset. Now, while they are factually upset, I don't think it matters, and I think that we wouldn't care about this in any other circumstance. And when I say that, it's like there are plenty of Western games where you raid tombs, like you take over pyramids or Aztec tombs, or like movies where you steal the Declaration of Independence, National Treasure, you know, all those things. Like the idea that you can't raid like sacred religious sites in like a video game, to me, is foolish, I think. And it's very much, I think, the same argument that people use to try and argue that cultural appropriation is like a real thing that should matter. I don't buy this argument. And if it was reversed, I don't think anyone would be talking about it. I feel like this is just one of the things that people are just trying to bandwagon onto finding things to hate. I think there's many real reasons to hate this game. Like I've shown, it looks like shit. But I don't think that this is one of them. And for an example, I've got a little example for you here. This is one of my favorite ones. And this is a woman wearing an Indian headdress for Halloween. Now, it is my understanding that to American Indians, this is very offensive because women do not wear the feathered hats of the Indians. I don't give a shit. And I don't think anyone should give a shit about this sort of thing. And I feel like this is the same thing. This woman wearing this Indian headdress does not actually take away from Indian culture. They can still wear their Indian headdresses in real time. They haven't lost the ability to wear their headdresses. If somebody else is doing something similar to you, that doesn't take away from you. Now, there are some silly examples like Kim Kardashian, who tried to trademark the word kimono. That's a bit different because that actually limits the use of that in trade for an actual cultural property. That would actually probably be one example of actually trying to steal someone's culture and trademark it for your own, because then you could not be used in a business sense across America. But things like this, like Halloween costumes or video games, even though the Japanese people are factually upset by this, I don't think it's a problem. And I think that's like people being a bit too precious on this entire issue. But that's my opinion, and you're free to disagree with me if you want. I don't feel like it's a big deal because it is fiction. Like just look at like any alternative history books that we have, or you know, like stories where people take liberties from different parts of the universe. Like there's like millions of things. There's millions of different stories like that where they take historical things and they like, oh, we stole the crown jewels from the queen, and now we're going to use it to I don't know, to power some laser in like some James Bond movie or something like that, right? Like that happens all the time and nobody gives a shit. And I think the only reason people are talking about this is because the Japanese are a little bit upset about it, of course, but specifically because it's just one more thing to kind of pile on the thing of the Assassin's Creed. So I disagree with this one personally, but you know, you're welcome to disagree with me on this. But it is true that this became an actual international incident over it today in the Japanese diet. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I might include that. All right, now let's see. Where were we on this? Let's take another look. Let's take another look at some of this gameplay. We'll go back and take a bit of a look. Some of these timestamps. So let's see what you're missing if you play Assassin's Creed. There was, I think, a 25-minute timestamp that was pretty good. It wasn't this one. We just saw this one.
There is still the ego problem.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the ego problem. That is the ninjas. I love the flute that plays after that, though. Was it this one? All right, so people are saying that this is just like I don't know. I don't think this is too much to get upset about either, but like some people are criticizing the hip-hop beats of Yasuke the Samurai. Let's take a look and just see for ourselves.
I will have that.
I don't know. This again, for me, this doesn't pass the vibe check. What do you guys think about this music? 1 for good, 2 for bad. I think that it's out of place. I think it's pretty out of place.
It is an honor to return your katana, Sensei.
All right, there's a part in here where he says, "My name is Yasuke." I want to see that part too. I want to see that. I want to see where he says that my name is Yasuke. This part here.
My name is Yasuke.
Wow, so powerful and brave. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's atrocious. It doesn't sound good. Yeah, for me, it's not passing the vibe check. I know that's like not really an argument, but it is what it is. Of course, if you're mad about my coverage, here's some good advice for you. You can go crying, as the Assassin's Creed news was telling people many months ago. The people that are like, and this is one of those people, by the way. This is one of those people that defend the game no matter what. It's just so funny to see how unhinged they are. Go crying, go crying, go crying, go crying, go crying, go crying. I assume this is a French person or something. Hello. This person says, hi, Josh. So hello. How's it going? All right, now where were we? Overall score, let's see. A return to form, 8 out of 10. Doubt it. I very much doubt it. So actually, let's take a look at this actual review now. Now that we've had a look for ourselves. Oh, no, review ads. What the fuck? When I click on remove ads, it opens up another page. That's actually some bullshit. All right, let's see what they're actually saying on The Gamer. And I'm pretty sure this is a very paused website, by the way. Because I remember looking at it a few times, and every time I've been disappointed. So I want to see what they're saying about it. Few games launch with as much baggage as Assassin's Creed Shadows. It would have already had a tough hill to climb, thanks to finally tackling the feudal Japan setting that the fans have been requesting ever since the series began nearly 2 decades ago. This is an interesting thing for me, is that this should have been a slam dunk of a game. And it's something that Ubisoft didn't want to do. Fans have been wanting a ninja samurai game, Assassin's Creed, for the longest time, and they always said, no, that's too easy. That's like too obvious. We're not going to do it. That's a stupid idea. But when the bills are due, they decided, you know what? Okay, now we're going to break out the smash as in case of emergency samurai ninja game. So it should have been an easy game to make, I think. This should have been absolutely like 10 out of 10. But all of the reviews I've seen so far, it's just everyone's like, meh. It's meh tier. Several high-profile misses from several high-profile misses from Ubisoft, multiple sudden delays, and a swirling culture war around Yasuke mean that Shadow simply needs to hit like no other game before it. Seeing the weight of the world on Shadow's shoulders has been especially strange as someone who hasn't been bothered about leaps of faith or hidden blades for a long time. The last game I fell in love with was the incredibly diverse Unity, and I've been reluctant to give Assassin's Creed more of my time ever since the infamously stuffed Odyssey and its even chunkier successor, Valhalla. While everyone else had make-or-break expectations for Assassin's Creed Shadows, all I wanted for it was a reason to care about the series again. Thanks to the lusciously expansive recreation of Japan, 2 distinct protagonists. Well, yeah, one has. Never mind. I wasn't going to say what you think I was going to say, though. And satisfying tweaks to its trademark mechanics. I mean, is that good, though? Like, satisfying tweaks? That means they're trying something new. And now that can be a good or a bad thing, but typically it's not a good thing. This new entry gives me that, even if some repetition and bloat keep it shy of being a new peak for Assassin's Creed. Let's see, a more grounded Assassin's Creed story. Shadow takes place in 16th century feudal Japan, towards the end of the Sengoku period, when the country was embroiled in civil war. The ongoing battle for power between corrupt shoguns and daimyos ties together the fate of 2 protagonists, Naoe, the shinobi. Technically, she's a kunoichi, because she's a female ninja. And Yasuke, the samurai. This should be like samurai ? Now, like I said, there's no way to prove whether or not Yasuke was a samurai. And there's actually an article I had here from a Japanese professor. And he says, let's see. He says to it, it's the game's conceit to call him a samurai. It's not a doctoral thesis. Like other historians who've weighed in, he pointed out that Yasuke is a person who really existed. Now, this is true. He did exist, but there's only 1 page of history about him. Although the historic evidence of his status can be difficult to interpret. Yuichi Gozai, assistant professor at the National Center for Japanese Studies in Kyoto, disagreed. Nothing proves that Yasuke had such qualifications, making him a samurai, medieval history specialist, Gozai said. In surviving documents, Yasuke stood out above all for the color of his skin and his physical strength. So basically the only document we have about Yasuke, and this is from memory, basically the Jesuits came to negotiate with Nobunaga, and they had never seen a black man before. And this is exactly what the page says. They had never seen a man with such dark skin before, and they thought it was paint. So they asked him to strip off, and then everyone came and looked at him. He's like, holy shit, he really is black. And then they'd asked him to stay and basically carry around the sword for like the next year until Oda's death. And then, of course, he went back to the Jesuits. So he was just like an oddity. Now, having a sword and wielding it and standing by the such important figures would typically make someone a samurai. But like I said, he never really received his last name, which is important to being a samurai. Although there were samurai without last names. But he did get like his own private residence, and he did have his own sword. So that's like the best evidence that we have for it. That's about everything, though. That's like all the information. Basically, he was just a guy he was a retainer. He carried a sword. He had his house, and then he went back to the Jesuits after 1 year. Let's see. So Gozai continues saying, his patron was warlord Oda Nobunaga, likely kept Yasuke by his side to show him off. Yeah, he's like an elephant or a lion that you have from a weird place, like a menagerie of things. Before erupting, even before Shadows had been released, the controversy over the black character's inclusion had been the fiercest surrounding any Assassin's Creed game. The series has been attacked in the past, including by hard-left Frenchist politician Jean-Luc Mélenchon, for who firebranded Robespierre was depicted in Assassin's Creed Unity. I don't know who this is. I guess it's from Unity. Set during the French Revolution. In the February report, the European Video Game Observatory noted that Ubisoft's announcement of Yasuke immediately sparked a heated controversy amplified by social media. The outfit blamed most of the uproar on an American conservative and moral crusade waged by hardcore of at least 728 interconnected accounts. So those are all the people on Twitter that are talking about it, basically. The group made up only 0.8% of speakers on the topic of Assassin's Creed Shadows in the US, but accounts for 22.1% of all related coverage, the observatory added. The researchers said the behavior is suggesting an astroturfing campaign that piggybacked on the broader culture war battles going on during the US presidential election campaign. So people are saying it was like George Floyd. That's why they chose Yasuke. Our use of Yasuke has been instrumental by certain people to get their own message across, but that's not the message of the game, says Mark Alexis Coate, executive producer of Assassin's Creed franchise. Nevertheless, within Japanese depictions of the country's history remains a sensitive issue, as shown by recreation images of shadows, players damaging the interior of temples. I understand France's secularist principles, but it's important to acknowledge that the ill-considered insults about religion can spark strong reactions, he said. This risk should have been foreseen. Yeah, like Japanese are very nationalistic and they're very proud. And if you do anything to disrespect their culture, they're probably going to talk about it. And the netizens of Japan are a very vocal group. We saw this when we were looking at some of the Japan analysis videos, where they had the bike guy and the Japanese netizens that were going after people typically, but then they were actually railing against the photographing of the train people. It's very interesting actually to look into it. All right, now we'll jump back to the gamer. So Yasuke the samurai, whose tragedies at the hands of the Bakufu unite them in the building of a new order to exact revenge. With such tumultuous time in history as the adventure setting, Shadows focuses more on politics and the overall state of the world than any other Assassin's Creed, while also trying to tell a more serious story. It's refreshing to see a more grounded approach. Now, Assassin's Creed is kind of a ridiculous story. That's kind of what turns me off to it, honestly. Like, when my brother showed me the first game, I was like, okay, so you're like a ninja sneaky boy or something. He's like, yeah, but actually, we're like going through the genetic memory of Altia, or I think is it Altia? We're going through. It's like he's our great grandfather, and we're looking through the genetic memory from some lab. And I was like, that sounds stupid. So I was like, yeah, the meta plot. It sounded really stupid to me, and it actually turned me off from the game. So maybe I got filtered from it. Maybe the gameplay is fine, but like I never really liked the idea of the genetic memory mumbo jumbo. Like just have a game. It's like, look, it's just ninjas. We're doing it. Okay. It's refreshing to see a more grounded approach with the inner workings of feudal Japan's culture remain interesting throughout the 40-hour story, but the end result is a little mixed. Oh no. Wait a minute. I thought you said this was a feudal return to form. Note, don't expect any significant updates from the series' one-day story in Shadows since it's pretty much ditched within the first 5 minutes. I miss you, Desmond. Okay, that's weird. Despite starting strong, Shadows' story eventually makes way for plot threads that feel largely disconnected from the main conflict, leading to a hurried conclusion that left me wondering if I'd missed something. So it's got bad storytelling. This is the nicest way to say the story's shit. But even as the grander plot fizzles out, Shadow kept my attention thanks to some wonderfully realized characters and their more personal tales. I can tell you exactly what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. He's like, well, I didn't like the story. The story was shit, but I really liked the romance. That's exactly what he's saying here. I guarantee it. Take a leap of faith and give Yasuke a chance. Naoe's journey from the humble shinobi in training to assassin driven by vengeance, who has to find balance in an upturned world, is well told and reminiscent of Izio. While her found family relationships within the group she gathers throughout the narrative make her one of the series' more relatable heroes. So people like Naoe, they don't like Yasuke. Some occasionally wonky voice acting. Wait, occasionally wonky voice acting. What could he be referring to? What could he be referring to by that?
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too.
Shiitake?
Shiitake?
Yeah, there's some shiitake takes going on in this article. Let me see. However, Yasuke is undoubtedly the star of the show. He consistently charismatic, honorable, and charming. Apart from when he's beheading unarmed people in the castles. Despite having a tragic and complicated past that sees him derided as an outlander and a foreigner by most he runs into, Shadows doesn't shy away from Yasuke's historical standing as the first black samurai. As there are plenty... Actually, I want to see what article this links to. So it's another The Gamer one, so it's just linking to their own articles. Okay. As there are plenty of tense and uncomfortable moments that remind Yasuke and us how far he is from his home and do right by the heavy subject matter. Naoe and Yasuke are both engaging characters in their own right, with backstories that become the game's most interesting plot threads. But the real joy comes from watching them work together and slowly become friends. Assassin's Creed Shadow is at its best when it focuses on the plights of the people, such as my favorite boy, Junjiro. Is that another romanceable character, I wonder? And the main plot can get lost in the daimyo drama. The journey is worth it to see the pair grow and aspire to change the world around them. Note, one of my favorite scenes is when Naoe and Yasuke play a drinking game together to get to know each other, which cements how well Shadows executes these more intimate moments. Is this like a good note to add? They had a drinking competition. I liked it. Why? This doesn't like this isn't a sell. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, so apparently it's Odyssey and Valhalla meets OG Assassin's Creed. So this is why it's a return to form, I suppose. Whether it's recent RPGs or earlier entries or that started this all, Assassin's Creed gameplay formula have almost always been split into two halves. Stealthy traversal as you run across rooftops. Yeah, that's what I imagine like it as, like running along rooftops, jumping into hay barrels, and doing the sneaky knife attack with the, like, it's like a secret cult or something, right? Like the Assassin's Creed. An action-packed melee combat with a quiet approach when the quiet approach doesn't work. In Shadows, the split is personified by Naoe and Yasuke's unique playstyles. So basically, if you want to play a ninja, if you want to play an actual Assassin's Creed game, you play Naoe, and if you just want to run around and smash things, you play Yasuke, which makes each of them better suited in different situations. Naoe's penchant for sneaking around, climbing up rooftops, and assassinating her with a hidden blade means that she feels familiar to anyone who loved Ezio's games and is perfect for trying to do things quietly, while Yasuke's tank-like ability to soak up damage and powerful melee attacks make him a clear, loud option, with a playstyle that's more reminiscent of Odyssey and Valhalla. In a lot of ways, Shadows feels like a perfect middle ground in the series between two identities. Note, while stealth has felt like it's been in the background of recent games, it is better than ever in Shadows, thanks to the ability to go prone and tamper with lights and hide in the ahem shadows. At first, I was worried that Yasuke and Naoe would feel railroaded into handling certain missions and that there'd be clear better ways to play Shadows, but both are capable of doing the same things, just in different degrees of success. I can't imagine Yasuke actually being a sneaky boy, though. That's the thing. Like, I guess it's technically he can, but like the samurai's kabuto armor kind of doesn't make for good stealth combat. It's noisy by design. Yasuke might even have an easier time with taking on crowds of enemies. Well, of course. But Naoe's katana and Tanto's skills keep her in the action just fine. On the other hand, Naoe's grappling hook allows her to scale buildings much faster, but Yasuke can still climb her up and explore well enough in spite of his larger stature. This clever approach means you don't feel locked out of part of the game away when you choose either. Well, I would assume what they would do, like typically when you have like dual protagonists in a game, you can switch between them at various intervals, and obviously some levels would be designed just for them. But couldn't you just have like, you know, like a changing room, something like you just go there and you can switch character anytime? So if you come up to a challenge that is, you feel as like, well, this is a big crowd of people, I can't take out one by one. I'm going to switch to Yasuke and just bowl them all over. That's how I'd imagine it would work. So it's not like having both of characters being able to do both missions like that, or just tackle any parts of the games, feels like neither of them is special enough to be distinct in its own. You know what I mean? Combined with the freedom to switch between, you can do this. Is exactly what I would want, being able to switch between them immediately. It is helped by how great Shadows feels to play. Combat is, now I've seen the gameplay, it doesn't look great. Combat has seen the biggest tweaks and is now more parry and dodge focused, similar to, but not on the level of Ghost of Tsushima. And I think this is the reason that they actually made this game is purely because of Ghost of Tsushima and how well it performed. Because Ubisoft's been in big trouble, and Ghost of Tsushima is basically everyone was talking about it. It's like a renaissance of those sort of I don't want to say Souls-like, but you know what I mean. While parkour is smoother than ever thanks to some new moves and tools despite complicated Japanese architecture. Actually, a lot of the Japanese architecture looks more Chinese than Japanese, which is one of the problems as well. Even though Shadows is more satisfying Assassin's Creed has felt in years, the same repetition and bloat that I have felt in RPGs eventually did start to set in and sour me a little, so it's shit. The lack of enemy types and small pool of weapons means that fights often go the same way, so it's boring. With additions like stealth, like turning out lights, don't feel like they mix things up enough to stop assassinations from above being the go-to like they've always been. Like, is turning out lights, isn't that like from Metal Gear Solid 2? Like, this isn't something that's like special anymore. Like, you would play games like Metal Gear Solid and you would like, oh look, you can turn off the lights now. Holy shit, you can hide and you can knock on things and they come to doors. Like, this is the sort of things that I would just expect from any stealth game in the current year. Now, oh, look at that. Look at all this like beautiful countryside. Shadow Japan lives up to near 2 decades of hype. I really doubt that to be the case. Now, see, if this is what Japan does look like in autumn, but you don't hear cicadas during this time. So it's very immersion breaking for me when I see this. So personally, I would probably find this game very annoying to play. But like I said, those are kind of like very nitpicky. Look, the watermelons in spring are not okay in Japan. That's not okay. While Assassin's Creed Shadow plays mostly like an improved version of what you'd expect, it's a big swing of finally adapting feudal Japan. Without a doubt, its greatest strength and my favorite setting from the series to date. Most of the recent entries in the series blow together as a cityscape soup or less, or else offer spaces too wide that strip you of your ability to feel like the assassins of the early games. Shadows goes the opposite direction by mostly shifts its focus away from towering buildings to packed cities. Don't worry, it's not quite as wide as Valhalla. All right, I'm going to skip through this because I'm kind of bored about this article, actually. I'm going to look at the notes. One of the most impressive things about Shadow's map is that there are technically 4 versions of it, thanks to the in-game seasons. But they fucked up the seasons. The seasons are all fucked up. It's all... These not only change the look, but they affect gameplay, with the snow making it harder to move around and freezing over some water. See, this is cool, though. Like, having something like this in a game is cool. Like, oh, I can't cross this lake, whatever. Maybe if we change the weight to winter. Now, this isn't good for storytelling, but it's kind of interesting. Like, you can cross the lake when it's all frozen. All right, let's see. They give this a 4 out of 5, so 80%. All right, what's their conclusion? What's their conclusion to this? Despite some repetition and bloat that makes Assassin's Creed Shadow's final stretch drag on more than the rest of the game, its brave approach to exploration in a gorgeous world, heartfelt personal stories. By that he means this. Its brave approach to exploration in a gorgeous world, heartfelt personal stories, and satisfying tweaks to the formula still make it stand as one of my favorite entries yet. While no one can say if Shadows will be an all-timer hit that both Ubisoft and the series need right now, I can say it's more than worthy of your time. We'll see about that. Now, though, let's have a look at the actual charts. All right, so here's the rankings. Now, it hasn't been officially released yet, so these are... that is true also, Modern Watermelons didn't actually exist back then. So Jeffrey Hall, who's a bit of a Japan reporter, he works, I believe, at Tokyo University. He has the Assassin's Creed Shadow isn't out until tomorrow, but on Steam, it's currently the 8th bestseller in Japan. That's not good, by the way. That's not good. If it's not Game of the Year, if it's not bestseller for like the next week, it's bad. It's apparently top 3rd selling game globally. I'm honestly surprised by the Japanese ranking, he says, since I didn't think the series had that much of a following over here. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. This is the top 100 sellers. So Assassin's Creed Shadows is... Wait, Cyberpunk? So it's currently being beaten. This is the Japanese bestsellers, Monster Hunting Wilds. Monster Hunter is going crazy right now, and I'll be very surprised if it beats Monster Hunter on the thing. Altair Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land, is number 2. I don't know how Overwatch 2 is up here, because it's free to play. I guess this is... Someone said that this list is based off of sales, but Overwatch is free to play. So I wonder if this includes skin sales. Street Fighter 6 is 4th. Elden Ring is 5th. Apex Legends is 6th. Again, it's another free to play game. Wizard Variants Daphne is 7. I've never even heard about that. And Assassin's Creed is currently number 8. And Cyberpunk's doing pretty well still. That's pretty cool to say. Believe it goes off downloads? I'm not sure. I heard that this is the top sellers list, though. Top sellers. People said it's about downloads, but I don't think so. I think it's actually about volume of sales. So it's a little bit deceptive because, like, a lot of these big name games are currently discounted. So if they didn't have the discount and it was just by pure sales and downloads, then these games would be on top. Because Assassin's Creed is like a premium cost game. Like it's 9,000 yen in Japan, which is basically like $60. So I mean, it is selling. It is selling, but like I said, it looks like middling sales. This is kind of what I expected. That's for the Japanese sales. Currently in the US, Counter-Strike 2 is number 1. Repo, what the fuck is this? It looks like a horror bait game or something. Assassin's Creed is number 3 behind Steam Deck. Split Fiction. Now I want to play Split Fiction. I really want to play Split Fiction, but I need a friend to play. I have no friends. Monster Hunter Wilds is now dropping off in America. That's not surprising, but like I said, Monster Hunter is probably not going to drop off in Japan for a while because it's such a popular genre over here. Overwatch 2, then Cyberpunk, then Red Dead Redemption, and Elden Ring. Look at that. Look at that. Wizard Variants Daphne could be good. All right, what is this? What is this Wizard Variants Daphne? Let's take a look. This is probably some Japan Kuma shit. Wizardry Variants Daphne. What is this? This looks like some, I don't know. The first thing that I saw looks like be honest with me. Is this Goblin Slayer? Is that what I'm looking at? Is she about to get gobbed? Wizardry Variants Daphne. Is she about to get gobbed? I don't know. This seems sus to me. Oh dear. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's perfectly fine. It looks like she's about to get gobbed. It's a horror gacha. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, Ubisoft sales aren't doing too good. Over the last 5 days, they're up like 4%, but over the last day, they're down about 2%. And over the last year, they're down, 6? It's going down too. It just dipped down. What this suggests is that there is no... If Ubisoft was about to have an absolute banger, and the markets knew that, and you always bet on the markets, honestly. Always bet on the markets. It's been going down since this came out. This is not good this does not fill me with confidence. Suffer Ubisoft? Yes. Suffer Ubisoft. This is suggesting that every one of the people with the real money, the smart boys, what's the 5-year average? It's down 46 points or 78%, which is pretty bad as well. It's down from a peak of 82 to 13. Over the last year, the peak was 23 euros, and now it's down to 13 euros. So it's not looking good. The investors aren't expecting this to be a banger, and they probably have more information than we do. All right, let's go through some of these other ones. Let's have a look. Now, let's see if we can find some more gameplay. Let's take another look at the gameplay of Yasuke. Let's see if we can find something. Not the timestamps. I don't want to rely on the timestamps. Let me see if we can find something good. All right, let's have a look.
Up here.
Whatever others do, our Lord does otherwise. And whatever our Lord orders...
Now, this is true. Japan has these fucking death stairs that are like really fucking steep. And this is a tip for any girls in Japan. Don't wear a skirt and visit a castle, because like you can figure out why. You can figure out why.
We obey. Oh, what a day. My muscles can't wait for a nice, long rest. And
Note the
sake.
elegant
Don't
perfection.
forget about the sake.
Mmm.
Sake.
Mmm. Sake.
Brewed from the invigorating waters of Lake Biwa.
Lord Nobunaga spends
Oh no, not the invigorating waters of Lake Biwa. Okay, so that's just so stupid. Hold on a second. If we go back to the Iga Peninsula picture that I had, Iga history. Oh dear, that's to put that in context. To put that in context, it's like you're playing like a cowboy game, and they're like, I can't wait to drink some beer brewed from the invigorating waters of Lake Michigan. Lake Biwa is like the largest lake in Japan. It's not particularly clean. It's not known for like its clean water and purity. It's just like, oh, look, there's a lake there. Like if they said like the rivers of Mount Fuji or something, or a refreshing spring, that might make sense. But like the refreshing Lake Biwa, it's just the biggest lake. It's like literally like it's like Japan's Lake Michigan or something. I'm not very convinced by this story. Oh, look, there's some gameplay here actually. Let's take a look at some gameplay. If it actually loads. Every night my internet goes off, so we'll have to see. Oh, I see a gun firing here. Show me the guns. Oh no. We dropping out. No, I can still see it loading. All right, I'll hit the refresh. Maybe they won't. Maybe they're going to force me to watch another ad or something. Who can say?
Samurai. What is wrong with him?
It's an ambush! Protect
All right.
Lord Nobunaga! It's an attack!
Protect Lord Nobunaga!
Wow, this looks like groundbreaking. Looks like so much fun. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good to me. I'm sorry. There was actually now that I think about it, there was actually another scene I want to show you. If we go back to the, I think it was on this one. Hold on a second. Let me just load this up. He ain't holding it right. Well, a lot of the stuff doesn't look good in this game, in my opinion. Let me just find this timestamp on my other screen. All right, what's this timestamp? Hold on a second. All right, what the fuck? All right, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I want to see this part. So apparently someone said this is great.
Am I?
The fuck is this? Brainwash simulator?
What? What?
Where are we going?
Into the forest to find something I have not seen in many years.
Now? I thought we were going to fight.
Okay, so this is the Iga province, but like I said, this is like the middle of autumn, and you can hear cicadas, which is very jarring for someone that actually lives in Japan.
Trust me.
What?
I know it. Now is the perfect time.
They say the Oda clan has the teeth of bears and the same craving
Holy
for flesh.
fuck, don't go back
This
in time?
appetite is never satisfied.
What the fuck is
That
going on
Oda-
here? All right, now I was looking for the combat one, actually. I want to find one of these timestamps had like the combat. What is this? Okay, that was just kind of funny. Good to see the developers decide to include historically accurate peaceful protests. That's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And it's a siege. Let me see. What's this part? No, that's the same part, actually. Where is the slashing? I want to show you the slashing. Like, it just looks really, really bad. Give me a second. So one of these, I was looking at it when I was previewing it. But what do you guys think of it so far? Like, post what you'd post out of 1 to 10. What do you guys think? With 10 being the best and 1 being the lowest. That's what I want to see. Is this it?
Do nothing.
All right, here's some of the actual gameplay. Let's have a look. Actual swordplay. I want to see this. It's the Ashiguru swordsman.
Age to consume a ration, okay. Oh, there it is.
This guy's just standing there, like, not moving. And it's just like ching, 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 ching. Well, what the fuck's going on here?
Stop, man. Damn.
Imagine dying in a video game. Holy shit. It just looks like the combat doesn't look good at all. Like, when I saw this, I thought it would be like, you know, like the Arkham combat system. I feel like that would work for samurai gameplay. Like, you know, when have you guys ever played like an Arkham game? they have really fun, like dynamic combat. I'll see if I can find an example for you. Let me see. Arkham counter system. I think like it's a little bit. Oh wait. Okay, that's not it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Just buy Ghost of Tsushima. That's probably good advice. Like when you have like a big group of people in the Batman games, maybe there's double count. Maybe like this. I haven't seen this one yet, but I'll assume this is like one. So in like the Arkham games, you have like a perfect counter system, I think that is what they call it, where there's just like this really dynamic flow of gameplay. And look how like your enemies will grab you, you'll grab onto them, you'll grab actual body parts, things like it keeps moving, everything keeps going. And it feels very natural and fluid. And when you do it, it feels good. Like those Arkham games are so much fun because you go into a group of like 5 people and you just start countering and jumping around and you actually feel like a badass, right? And it looks like a proper like comic book fight. This is what I would be expecting from something like Assassin's Creed. So you have that really nice fluid system, and this is from a game from like what are these Arkham games? Are like 15 years old or something? And then you have a game like Assassin's Creed, and it looks so like stiff and boring. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. This is the Assassin's Creed one.
Stop, man.
He's just standing there, just nothing's happening. Apparently there's no stamina system in the game either.
Damn.
So it just looks like a shit game. Ultimately, that every time I look at it, like, and people say like you just hate it because of Yasuke, and that's not true at all. It's like I hate it because it looks like a shit game. But you can't really argue. The thing is, this is such a polarizing thing as well. And the reality is that like a lot of let's see. All right, that's the same one. I want to find. There was specifically another one that I saw that it was really embarrassing. Arkham is amazing, well worth a play, and will run perfectly on a PC. Oh, well worth a play. Well worth a play is what you mean, Dave. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They're really good. Let me see. Oh, there's been like so many comments since this stream started that's why I can't find them. Because I was sorting by new. Okay, what's this one? Look at the deer run off. This is terrible. Let's take a look at this one.
Don't.
All right, so again, it's another cicadas during middle of autumn. Wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, you want some of this pussy?
It's all right. Don't.
Yeah.
What? What is the context of this? Did she kill the deer or did she find a killed deer? Because like surely like I would assume that she was hunting or something, right? Okay, no, she finds a fallen deer.
Damn, they got his ass, huh? That's Bambi. Bambi got fucked up. Yeah, you want some of this pussy?
This deer does look good though. Like I think this deer is quite realistic.
It's all right. Don't.
Why would you do this? I don't understand. Why is a female ninja trying to appeal to a baby deer? That makes no sense. Someone said that there's no deer in Japan. I assume that's a joke. Obviously, there are deer in Japan. I mean, there's a very famous place where you go to visit deer in Japan. But why would you be trying to save the child deer? Like, no, it wasn't. I didn't shoot your mother. Like, this doesn't make sense. Why would she say that? Is she like a net? Like, she's like Peter or something? Like, what the fuck? She's just like, oh, look, a dead deer. Let's eat it or some shit.
Why?
I mean, exactly. Why? Why do you care? Like, deer are only really sacred in Nara. Deer have been hunted throughout Japan for the longest time, and they're even hunted till this day.
It's a deer.
This is such a weird reaction. It's not like they killed a puppy or something, you know what I mean? That is, that's weird. It's a mechanical deer. Deer aren't real and I've never seen one. They're mechanical deer. No, that's not true. That's not true. All right, hold on, I gotta clear that one out. There we go. All right, let me see if I can find... apparently, newest comments is going to work because this is starting to pop off again. Let's see if we can find that one with the actual sword combat. Oh, actually, I'll just scrub through, I think, and look for it. Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can find. We're going on a bit of a voyage looking through this.
I can look better here.
You can make your own little town. That's kind of interesting. I like sim builders, but I'm not sure it has a place in an Assassin's Creed game. So I think the combat was happening around here. All right, let's see. There's some. I guess this is her female love interest. Let's see what they're talking about at this. Let's check out this cutscene.
Damn, bro, he hit her with a baseball bat.
I love how it says masked samurai, and you can see his face. You can see masked samurai.
Damn, bro, he hit her with a baseball bat.
He's not wearing a mask. It's the little details. It's the little details that matter. Why doesn't it just say mysterious samurai or something?
What's in the box?
What's this? We rewrite our history.
What is it?
Hurry! Someone's coming!
It's a lightsaber.
Wore a mask.
Many samurai do.
All right, skipping around. I'm going to see if I can find any new funny ones.
This is how
Oh
AI.
no. Oh no, an AI ad. Great. Just what I wanted. Just what I absolutely wanted. More AI ads. Oh my gosh. All right, skip that. Let's see if we can find one more. All right, this is the winter scenes. The snow effects look fine. I don't have any complaints about this. Except there is autumn leaves again. So, like, no, you don't see red autumn leaves during snowy seasons. That's actually very annoying.
What do you want now, bitch?
All right, skipping through.
Nah, tap.
All right, that's enough of that. I haven't seen anything that's very impressive so thus far. All right, let's see. We went through that one. Went through that one, but I want to leave that open. Leave that one open. Now, they're actually rushing through a day one patch. So, as we saw in this clip in the very beginning, you can behead people, although sometimes when you behead people, they just get up and start walking around because they're undead zombies. It's a feature, not a bug.
What the hell? Dude's walking around without a head.
Now, games in Japan are typically censored. So they're pushing out a patch, and this is supposed to be for the Japanese audience, but it sounds like they're going to put it for everybody. Ohio, my brother, was saying, do you think this is exclusive to Japan? According to this article, Ubisoft has announced details of a patch releasing on the launch day of Assassin's Creed. 2 changes introduced to this patch will be revealed. Blood effects will be removed when attacking unarmed NPCs, and unnecessary blood depictions in temples and shrines will be reduced. And tables and shelf places within temples will no longer be destructible. That seems really silly. Like, just don't let them use weapons in temples if you don't want them attacking things. Having indestructible landscape takes away from a lot of it, I think. All right, so we don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. All right, so this is an unbiased reviewer. They say PlayStation game size, and obviously when I say unbiased, we have to use this scale. This is how you measure games in the current year. You can see here that in the past, the early 90s, 80s, and noughties, 5 was average, and this is kind of how my rating system works. 1 is like shit sucks. 2 is bad, 3 is mediocre, 4, 5 is like average, 6 is good, 7 is really good, 7 to 8 is great, 8 to 9 is amazing, and 9 to 10 is outstanding, and then 8 to 10 is possible game of the year material. I feel like, does anyone disagree with this metric system? Because this just makes sense, where 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest, and 5 is okay. Now, this is a real problem in the game industry, is that anything below a 7.5 is just shit. If you see a game company recommending it with like an 8, then you know that it's like probably a 5. 8 games that are listed as an 8 are average. 9 is good. If it's a 9.5, it's very good. If it's a 9.8, then it's great. And you have this like tiny little segment where it's like 9.9 is like incredible or something. It should be a bell curve. Disagree. It should be a linear curve. It absolutely should be a linear curve. You won't convince me otherwise. Maybe we're talking about the same thing though. All right, so this person, PlayStation Game Size, says Assassin's Creed Shadows review. Assassin's Creed Shadow is the beginning of the third phase of the series. After more than 80 hours of playtime, I can say it's superior to the second phase in almost every way. So he's 2/3 through the game. However, fans of the modern story and mythological elements in the previous games might be disappointed. My review is based on the following specifications. He's playing on the PS5, mode balance, canon, immersive. So he's going for the canon story, which means that now he's going to be gay. Story is 25 to 35 hours. Now, the positives he says of this game is the best story in recent years. Now, when I was watching people's streams today, they said that the story was one of the least interesting things. So I'm not sure I agree with this one. An incredibly beautiful world. I will say that I think that some of the scenes look good. When I see some of the pictures, do I have some of them loaded up here? No, I must have got rid of them. They look like the graphics don't look bad, but the graphics are wrong in like those certain details about Japan, like I've said. So I can accept this as an incredibly beautiful world. I can accept that, but personally for me, I don't like it because of those problems that take me out of the immersion. An amazing soundtrack album. Well, we listened to the soundtrack album, didn't we? Where is it? Yasuke's theme starts. This is the soundtrack. Judge for yourself. This is, there's no accounting for taste.
No.
Right. Wait, where was it? No, it was right there actually. Sorry, right. This is the soundtrack.
It is an honor to return your katana, Sensei.
I'm going to say that's a lie. I'm going to say this is a lie on this one. Excellent combat system. This is just a lie. I'm sorry. The combat system looks like trash. Best stealth in recent years. To be fair, I haven't seen the stealth system really that much. So it could be a good stealth system. But I think that anything that takes you out of the gameplay and the sword play is probably good because then you don't have to see how crap it is. So I could agree with this point. Great character development for both main characters. You'd have to play the whole game to just really see that. A great skill tree. I guess that could be true. High gameplay variety thanks to completely different weapons. I've only seen 3 different types of weapons. So I've only seen I guess 4. There's the grappling hook, the swords, the club, and the guns. One of the best weather systems in gaming history. I don't know about that. I've seen some pretty good weather systems in games, but I guess it could be, maybe. Excellent performance in balance mode. I really seriously doubt that based on what I've seen. Good side activities, although they become repetitive after a while. You can roll around the ground and pet kittens, so that's in the game. I mean, guess that's fine. Great season system that adds a lot of variety to the game. No, I disagree with this because, like I said, the seasons are all fucked up. Notable improvements to the hideout compared to Ravensthorpe. Allies Return is great and practical. Very good level of destructibility. I don't like the destructibility because it seems blocky. Like when I've seen Yasuke running through pillars and running through walls and things and the shoji paper doors, it all comes apart like Lego. That when a Lego wall breaks apart and all the individual blocks fall down. I really don't like that. In fact, if we actually look at Asmon's one, if I still have it, a perfect example of this is at 25 minutes in this. I think it was 25. Oh shit! Did we lose it again? Because when he starts rolling around in that house, this part here, I think it was. What was it? I forgot it actually. No. Yeah, this part. This is what I'm talking about.
Safe. Let's go in.
See how it's so blocky? It's square pieces of debris start falling apart. Okay, we're gonna go back and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. This looks like shit, especially for a modern game. All right, there we go. You can see it right there. You see how this wicker basket breaks into a perfect quarter? That's you can see these 2 perfect quarters like you're slicing a pizza. That's not good destructible debris. That looks like crap. This is a wicker basket. They don't just perfectly break into 4 slices like a pizza. This is very lazy in modern gaming. So I completely disagree with that point from PlayStation. Canon mode? Why is that a positive? Every game has canon mode. That just means that you do the story that the developers want you to do. This is not a positive. This is not a positive. This is just every game has this. The game doesn't give you the options, or you can do the options the developer wants. That's playing the canon mode. So this is just not true. Good dual sensor support. I don't know what that is. I guess it's for PlayStation 5. All right, these are the iffy things, the question marks. Although several incredible side missions are included in the game, the overall quality isn't top notch, so they're boring side missions. AI has slightly improved, so it's bad AI, especially in expert mode, but enemies still behave strangely in some scenes, so the AI is bad. Reverting to the Odyssey loot system was a bad decision. I couldn't comment on this because I don't know what the Odyssey system is like. Forced ray tracing in the hideout results in a very weak frame rate in other areas, so it's poorly optimized. The game needs several quality of life updates, like adding an option for changing the time of day and seasons. This I'll accept because a lot of games don't ship with all of the quality of life things. So I can accept that there's a few things that are wrong with it, sure. The modern story could have been much better, so it's a bad story. And these are the bad things. Low quality cutscenes after prologue, yep, we saw that. And bugs, so it's a piece of shit. But like I said, in scenes like this, it looks okay. This is what I'm saying, where the game looks fine, and it's like some of the cutscenes. Like this looks fine. Like this looks fine. I couldn't nitpick this too much, although these flowers, they come out like early autumn, right? The lilies, the red lilies, I forget what they're called. Yes, stuff like this looks fine, but it's just not put together very well. So I'm going to rate this person a PlayStation game size. Half of these positives are actually bad, so I rate this as a shill. It's shill gaming time. The Act Man on Twitter posted, "Don't let the protagonist of Assassin's Creed Shadows distract you from the fact that Ubisoft is already selling an $130 version of the game without showing 1 second of gameplay." This is true, but not only that, there's actually something else he doesn't notice here that I wanted to just point out. This is a subscription service. This is a single-player game. Why the fuck does a single-player game have a $17 a month battle pass? This makes no sense. So if you buy the Ultimate Edition, you get the base game, pre-order bonuses, season pass. Why? Why is there a season pass for a single-player game? 3-day early access. I mean, a lot of games are doing this now. I think it's kind of a shit move, but it is what it is. Ultimate pack, and then, yeah, the $17 a month. Holy shit. The base version of the game. So the base version, you get just the game. $70 American. These are quadruple A games. Like, holy shit. Gold Edition, which just includes the season pass and 3 days early access for an extra $30. Ultimate Edition comes with the season pass and also the ultimate pack. I don't know what's in that, but like, why is there a subscription? Pay to win? It's a single player game. Every single player game, you can just win without. What do you mean? What do you mean? Holy shit! People are actually going to pay that? All right. Now let's have a look at the Ubisoft. Oh no! Since the stream started about an hour ago, the stock has gone down. We're actually changing history right now, chat. Oh my goodness, it just went down again. It's down 5% today, or 60 cents. Holy shit! Look, this has happened. Look at this. The stream started here. Is our stream actually affecting the game sales? That'd be hilarious. Is chat frozen? Oh yeah, the chat's frozen on the screen chat. I'll fix it for you. Don't worry, I'll fix it for you. Sometimes it doesn't fix up though, but that's funny. Now, that's about what we've got for the Assassin's Creed stuff. But while Assassin's Creed is coming out for everyone tomorrow, even if you didn't buy the Battle Pass, there's another game. There's 2 games coming out tomorrow. There's this game, which you could be playing.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
So you could be playing this game tomorrow, or you could be playing this game, Yasuke Simulator, the competitor project, which looks much better. Unironically, the combat system looks better in this game.
I am Oda Nobunaga. I am Daimyo. You shall be my samurai, Yasuke. You will help me unify Japan. Go now to the streets. Fight your way up to Takatenjin Castle, controlled by the Takeda clan.
Foreigner.
I'm actually hyped for this game. Do we play this tomorrow? Is this what we do tomorrow? Just play this game? It looks like there's more variety of gameplay.
For the Takeda clan.
So that comes out in approximately. Actually, let's check Steam. It comes out in one day. I think it comes out just about stream time. No, I'm not sure. Maybe. So maybe we play Yasuke Simulator. Let me know if you want to like the stream. If you want to play. If you want to see Yasuke Simulator tomorrow. I assume it's a pretty short game, but it looks a lot more fun and better value than Assassin's Creed. I mean, look at this. Look at this game. Look at this. Look at these graphics. Look at these amazing graphics. Destroy things for the next gate. Kills for the next gate. Look at it. You're dual wielding swords. Amazing. Amazing stuff. It doesn't get much better than this. All right. All right. I think that's all I got for you tonight. Bit of a shorter one as well. But we'll have to wait to see the sales. Maybe we'll do an update, but I think it'll be like a side thing. Maybe in the like next week, we'll see how the game's sales are doing. My prediction, actually, post your predictions in chat. Post your predictions in chat for Assassin's Creed, not Yasuke. Not Yasuke Simulator. I want to see what people are thinking. I think it's going to be like a middling success. So it's not going to do any favors. I can't see it on this screen, actually. The chat just disappeared. I'm figuring it's going to settle as like a 5 out of 10 in most people's minds. And maybe they'll make back their budget because it seems like they put a lot of money into this. Actually, let's look up how much they made. Assassin's Creed Shadow game. I heard someone said like 400 million. I don't know if that's accurate. There's no way that's true, right? What's the budget? Assassin's Creed budget. What is the budget for Assassin's Creed? No, Shadows, not the movie. No, why am I getting the movie? Hold on. I'll just ask Grok. Why not? How much did Assassin... This is the first time I've used it, actually. Assassin's Creed Shadow cost. Let's see what Grok says. See if this is actually a useful tool. Let's see. The cost of Assassin's Creed Shadow can be interpreted in two ways: development cost and the in-game or purchase of the price for the consumer's development cost. There is no confirmation from Ubisoft on the exact development budget for Assassin's Creed. However, posts on X and industry speculation suggest it could be significant. One estimate from an X post claims the budget might be between 250 million and 350 million, potentially reaching 400 million with marketing included. These figures are unverified rumors, and Ubisoft has not disclosed the actual cost. For comparison, modern AAA games often fall between $100 million and $300 million, excluding marketing. So these estimates are plausible but not definitive. Additionally, a delay in the game's release reportedly cost Ubisoft an extra $21 million. Yes, the game was delayed twice, by the way. According to another post, though, this is unconfirmed. I feel like they don't make their money back on this. I don't think it's going to make $400 million. So I guess this is going to be a flop, or at least break even. I can't see it making more than 400 million. That seems insane to me. Ty says he'll make me a game for $40. Okay. Make me a game. Make me a game. What did it cost from Ubisoft? Everything. Exactly. Too many refunds will happen? I'm not sure about that. I think that there is definitely a group of people, and I have this on my list of different reasons and different reasons to hate it. Like the people that think that it looks great are typically like Ubisoft defenders and Ubisoft enjoyers. I feel like those people are going to buy the game no matter what. And they'll probably like it no matter what, because they just wanted to play another Assassin's Creed game. And I've seen some of these people on Twitter, and they seem really unhinged. Because it's like, how many times are you going to play Assassin's Creed Shadows? And one guy had a spreadsheet that said he was going to play the game 30 times. He's like, the first time I'm going to play Yasuke only, then I'm going to play Naue only, then I'm going to play pacifist mode, then I'm going to play swords only, then I'm going to play guns only, then I'm going to play it baseball bat only, and it just goes on and on and on. And he literally had 30 different ways to play it. And I assume he's a paid shield, because there's no way that someone plays a 60-hour game with the same story 30 times. I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. Dave says, Spider-Man 2 lost money and cost a similar amount. That's insane. Spider-Man 2 was a good movie, though, right? Wasn't it? Is it the one with Doc Ock? Spider-Man 2? That's the Tobey Maguire ones, right? Spider-Man 2? I like those movies. Or is Spider-Man 2 the one with I'm pretty sure that's the one with Doc Ock. I don't know. But I like those movies. I like Tobey's Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, sorry. Wait, what, really? I never played the Spider-Man games on PS. Maybe I missed out on that. It'll make a cool 450k. That'd be very funny if that is. It's going to make 50 million. We'll see. Will they tell us, though? Will they be honest about the cost? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, they mean the Spider-Man game with the self-insert fat check as MJ. I don't know who that is, again, because like I said, I didn't play it. It was great. Too many pride flags in the Spider-Man games. Yeah, I remember doing a video about that. Like, there was a mod that removed the pride flags from the Spider-Man game, and Nexus Mods deleted the mod and also banned the mod user account. And anyone that tried to download it, I think they got their accounts banned as well, which is very funny. And it wasn't even a mod to remove the flag. It actually just loaded up the Saudi Arabia version of the game, basically, where they weren't allowed to have any pride symbols, which is very funny. So it was actually just a feature that was in the game already. It was just locked out to the Western audiences. So all the mod really did was unlock the entire potential of the game. It's kind of crazy that, like, there are games that are coming out that have either features that are locked behind paywalls or things you have to download, like trick out with mods like that. Like, it's like when you see those car ads and it's like you can pay extra and get the top speed unlocked. That seems like absolutely criminal to me, and I don't know how they do it. I guess this is a sign of the times. What's bad is I pre-ordered this game before the details came out. Well, if you pre-ordered it at Steam, can't you get a refund if you want it? Because doesn't Steam offer you refunds for the first 2 hours? But I guess if you played it from a game shop, you can't do shit about it. Or if you got like the collector's edition or something. Hey, why don't you play it? And if you already paid for it, why don't you play it and just tell us what it's like? And we'll get an honest opinion. Someone from chat that we can trust. Subscription-based airbags when? That would be funny. That would be funny. Did you get the reniculate kidney upgrade for Yasuke yet? No, but I'm sure he's good at drinking seawater. Somebody said that Sean wanted to play the dinosaur game. Is that true? Or are you just joking? Is it like when you guys tried to tell Aaron that I wanted him to play Chain together with us? The stock investors see the subscriptions and pay to play options as cash cows. That's true, but I wonder if that's actually why the Ubisoft share price is going down. We'll watch them while we wait. Let's see. It might get updated. Don't think it's going to get updated before we end the stream. Google enshittification. I don't think I'll do that. I don't think I'd do that. First Spider-Man game was excellent. The story was incredibly weak. I mean, I think for a lot of those PS2 games, you're playing it more for the gameplay. I think at least I was at that age when I was playing with the PS2. PS2 had some amazing games though. Like PS2 gaming was like, that was like, I think peak gaming for me. Back during the console wars, you had like the Xbox friend who had Halo, and you had the PS2, and you'd just be playing like Final Fantasy X and shit. And he's just playing Halo all day, every day, because that's the only thing that Xbox had. I remember the first time I actually played Halo was like in a bar when we were having like a pizza party, unironic pizza beer party, with just 5 people showed up. It was like supposed to be like a massive event what my friend put on, and only 5 people showed up. That was fine because we had all the pizza. Good times, good times. Well, let's see. Suffer consumers, true. Money grab, pay to win. Death by microtransactions. Yeah. I'm not too happy about the state of the world, but to be fair, I play old games anyway, mostly. I mean, the game that I've been playing mostly recently is the dinosaur game, and that was like a $20 game that's been out for like, I guess, 10 years or so. I think I got my value on that one. But I think the next game that I play will be Yasuke Simulator. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next time. Oh, Google it. It's a consumer market term, not scat. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay. By the way, when it comes to best-selling games on Steam, it's based on a calculation that takes into account recent and then not all-time thing. Well, I assume so, right? Like, it's probably like a running total for the week. So if there's nothing to compare it with, it should be high up. Well, that's exactly what happened, and that was one of the arguments that people had. Like, there was a guy who's really cringe, and he was going after that guy, Shohei Kondo. And he was like saying, actually, Yohei, even in your own country, Assassin's Creed was the best-selling game on, and it was like one day, it was like the #1 on pre-orders for Amazon only and on PS5. And it's not a good metric to use, but it does show you something. It does cost you something. It does show you a little bit, right? BMW caught hell for owners. They had to pay a subscription to use installed options in their car, like heated seats. That is very funny. Like anything that's a scummier shit. That's a scummier shit. If I ever see that sort of thing, I'm not buying it. It's like it has a feature you have to unlock. That's just absolutely crazy. All right. That's it for today. I'll be off early. I hope you have a good night. If you're playing Assassin's Creed tomorrow, then I hope you get your money worth or you refund it within the first 2 hours. See you next time, guys, and peace.